Oh, hey. Oh my. It's been a while. It's been a
It's been years.
while. It's been 1 month and 2-ish weeks since we've seen you, or since you've heard our lovely, lovely voices. Heather hasn't spoken yet, but that's fine.
We're here.
It's the comic book bone zone. It's number 27. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, you did it. You did. And
Yeah.
it was exactly what you thought it was.
Yeah.
So love that.
Sometimes I'll remember things, sometimes I won't.
Number
So yes.
27. And the last time we recorded was the 27th.
Yeah. Weird.
Ooh, it's Halloween.
So Heather's had a baby. Labor watch is over.
We had one labor watch. That was it.
Yeah, the second labor watch was when we were gonna record and you didn't have the baby. And then the
That's
next week we were going to record and you did have the baby that day we were going to record.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a mess. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. I hope never to do so. Thank you.
Nope. Nope. I will. I'll tell you no. Don't do it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The horror stories I've heard from Tragan about his kid eating books and wing nuts. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Anyway, God bless you, parents. Braver than the fucking troops, that's for sure.
Real American heroes.
Yeah, seriously.
For keeping the
Okay.
bloodline alive.
So we're actually here to talk about comic books. It's been a long time since we've done this, so who knows what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like the first time all over again.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. But I'll go first if you would like.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay. Hi, I'm Heather, and this is my comic. This is Uncanny Spider-Man. This is issue number 1. I'm not taking it out of the bag and board, so you're just going to have to deal with that glare. There we go. That's not bad.
That's not too
Okay.
terrible.
This is a Nightcrawler story. It's not a Spider-Man story. Kind of is, but kind of isn't. So after the events of Legion of X and then the Hellfire Gala,
Seasons
Nightcrawler
of
is,
Sinister, right?
yeah,
Okay.
in Sinister. Yeah. That whole thing. When Nightcrawler leaves, he ends up in New York. Is that where Spider-Man is located? Yes. Okay. I don't know Spider-Man. He ends up in New York. He's trying to live a normal human life. But well, the mutants are like all cut off from the normal world and stuff, and there's just a bunch of stuff going on. So in order to survive in this like new land, mutant free land, he asks Peter Parker for just like a suit because he's like, they can't know that I'm like an actual mutant and stuff because he got into a lot of trouble for the stuff that he did during this whole Sinister event. So it's him borrowing one of Spidey's old suits and just being Nightcrawler while trying to figure out like how he's supposed to get back to his people and stuff. Yeah, I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. I thought it
All right.
was pretty funny because there is a little I said I wasn't taking it out of
Yeah,
the
I was saying you
but
just took that right out of the bag of the board.
um, but there is a very cute conversation between him and Peter. I thought was very nice. But my favorite thing is there's a website called Spidey Stands. I don't know if that's like a thing that has been like mentioned in Spider-Man issues, whatever. But this one comment is about the new Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and it says he's so hot. But that tail. I was like, same, you know.
Yeah, I know, I know. Is that by Cy Spurrier too?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Who
Just
does the art on it?
Lee Garbett and Jordi Belair does the colors and stuff. So, yeah, it looks great. I have to take it out again so I can show you like how he actually looks here. Like the art is really good.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, again, the story was like, it's just another. Nightcrawler story, so I'm into it.
And say, I know you love your Nightcrawler.
I do, and I try not to, but I can't help it.
It's fine. We like who we like.
Yeah, he's just a very good boy.
Uh,
A nice tail.
I got Garfield on one side and then this squishaboo, this pink squishaboo on my other side.
What's his name?
This guy,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Roxy. Hold on, I'll go I'll go check for the people real fast.
Okay, yeah, we need to know.
Yeah, Roxy. I thought it was a cat, but it's a fox.
Oh, I thought it was a cat too.
So I didn't get it for myself. I got it for my niece, but you know, it's just funny.
Yeah,
An
it's very
angel.
cute. I love it. You're
An
being
angel.
judged on all sides.
Okay, I guess it's my turn to talk about comics. First, I have The Devil That Wears My Face. I won't get too much into this just because Heather ordered this. I did end up talking about, I don't know if you ended up watching this movie, Heather, but there's this movie on Netflix called The Pope's Exorcist. Has Russell Crowe in it.
No, I did not watch that. But I know the movie.
So anyway, this book gave me a couple opportunities to talk about that movie because it reminded me of that. So if you've seen that, which somehow both the people I talked to had seen that movie, and I was like, did not see that coming because that was not a very good movie.
Really? Shoot. I wanted to watch that.
I mean, still watch it. It wasn't like it was it's what it's called. It's what it's called. It's Russell Crowe is the Pope's exorcist trying to defeat Beelzebub. But this is about just a daemon of sorts possessing people, and he gets his way into a priest.
Oh, so we can like take over?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Or he like, I don't know. Anyway, it's cool. It
Okay.
was like I don't know if I will continue reading it. I think I just special ordered this first one. It was like interesting, but again, it reminded me of that movie, which kind of took the like interestingness out of it for me because I couldn't
That's fair.
stop.
I think I
thinking
only
about it.
special ordered it too.
I can't remember honestly.
I'll have to check, but because that was one that I was like, maybe.
The art's cool. It's like the story isn't bad. Like I'm sure it's like that's the other part of it is like, well, I'm intrigued and part of me does want to continue reading it, um but yeah, it's by David Pepose, Alex Cormack. Sorry. Yeah, it's just it was like a good little like horror read, like first issue. I don't really have a lot to say.
Okay.
Pope's Exorcist.
I had something I completely forgot to mention. It does have to do with comics, so it's not like I'm like veering completely off here. Do you remember the Count Crowley
Yeah,
monster books
of
or
course,
whatever?
yeah.
The
Right,
David Dastam.
Dustin
Can't say his last name. Yeah, I feel terrible. I've
David
never been able to say it.
Dastmalchian.
So 3 movies over the last few nights of like horror movies that Brayden and I have been watching. He has been in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the craziest part is I forgot to screenshot this and send it to you. He pops up on my Facebook under
Oh yeah, all the
PPP.
time because he's friends. Yeah, he's friends with Colin Stapleton on Facebook. Yeah, all the time. I see him.
Okay, because he popped up and I was like, "There's no way that this is this man."
Yeah, the same thing happened to me because I was like, "That's weird." But then there is like a 6 Degrees like Omaha connection because there is Patrick Kavanaugh has a friend in Omaha named Laura. And if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, everybody from Omaha.
We're doing the 6 Degrees.
Yeah, she is friends with like Steve Aggie, who was in Peacemaker, and she has posted photos with this character. David? Is it David?
Yeah, David.
David Dalmatian.
Here he is, Dastmalchian.
Yeah, no, I just did this.
He's literally right here.
If you're listening to this, we're sorry.
So sorry, but huge fan. I love him and everything that I've seen with him, but my God.
So yeah, anyway, we've definitely got a 6 degrees of David Dastmalchian.
Which is cool. Like, if it's gonna be anyone, why wouldn't it be him?
Okay. Wow, we're really back to the rants, that's for fucking sure.
Well, we have a limited amount of time, so why not?
Anyway, we didn't say anyway. We're doing like a top 10 situation.
Yeah, it's from the last few weeks. It's not like this week's comics. It's all the weeks that we have missed of not recording. We just picked a few comics, so deal with it.
That's something. That's good. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody.
Next, I have Batman, City of Madness. This is a new Christian Ward book. This is about a Batman above and a Batman below. Looks great. It was really, really solid first issue. Excited to see what happens next. I really will keep it at that. Solid.
Like a Batman in the Upside Down?
Like a Batman from some Lovecraft brain.
Okay.
It was like, from the Upside Down, just weird.
Oh,
goodness.
Nightmare Batman. I love it.
Yeah,
it looks so cool.
Yeah, and this is the Sienkiewicz cover, so it's really, I don't know, it was a really good book. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. Though I have very little knowledge on the Court of Owls, and that does seem to be a key component here.
Shoot. Okay, I'll have to use Google.
Yeah.
I don't have any like Batman professionals in my life, so I have people who like Batman, but none that are like certified. So
no Batman researchers in your life.
Right.
Okay. All right. Are you ready? I think we have books together.
Am I? Yeah. Okay. One.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's a good little dark Batman story. Good, again, Halloween stuff. Good, solid stuff.
Very nice. All right.
Okay.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
So we both have this. You notice that there are 2 different covers if you're watching this. It's because I have number 2. Champ's got number 3. I have not gotten that far yet. So was it just The Hunger and the Dusk?
This book's real good.
Yeah, I really like, the art is one thing, but the story itself is like very entertaining too, because it's like following 2 different people, or I mean 4 technically, but like
2 different groups of people.
Yeah.
Who are all like trying to just like work for the common good of like their people. I like that issue, the second issue, because it like really delves into the main orc guy, Troth,
yeah,
and his like partner who was like an arranged marriage situation. So it like goes into like kind of the tension because she knows that he was in love with like his cousin, and like that was like an interesting like the conversation they had, and like then the intimacy and them kind of like bonding was really like really, really good.
Yeah, because it's a relationship built on like respect.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I don't know, very important, especially for this kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I don't know, just continue, and like that one ends on such like a fucking bummer note too.
Yeah.
And like this one, like it's just such a, yeah, it's such a really, really good story. And it's only a few issues in, and I just like, I immediately care about all of these characters and this world that I'm not sure, like, I don't really know what's going on yet, which is really cool because, like, you know, the world is fleshed out and like at least built in some form. And now we're just kind of like, we are taking those steps into it, which is, I don't know, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a very
Yeah.
well written fantasy story. I love it.
Yeah, and it looks really good. And anyway, that's a book by G. Willow Wilson
Mm-hmm.
and Chris Wildgoose does the art.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Sorry. I was trying to
Right.
figure out how to pronounce that last name, but I can't.
Mizak. Mizik.
Because in my head it was Ms. Azkick, but I don't think that's it. Who knows? This is another one that is just like that. It's Hunt for the Skinwalker. I have the first issue. James got number 2. I did not realize, and maybe this is my fault, I should have done a little more research on it. It's done by people who did the Skinwalker Ranch. Like they had a big part in it.
They just like, I think they just like talk to them because it's,
Is that what
I,
it was? Because I
yeah,
read
because it's
some of
written by
the,
Zach Thompson.
yeah.
And then like the author's note at the end just talks about like them like basically like them giving their blessing for that book, it sounded like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I like misread it, but basically the George Knapp and Colm Keller wrote the original book Hunt for the Skinwalker, and then they were contacted by Boom Studios to make that into a comic. Okay, that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, it's about the Skinwalker Ranch, which I did not know that's what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I like Zach Thompson a lot. I like, those stories. I am a little cautious about it, I guess. I shouldn't be saying it apparently, but it's part of the title and I felt weird not saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, it's exactly what you think it would be based off of the title.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because it feels like very slow moving.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the art a lot. I don't, well, obviously, it's a story.
The narration of it was really cool. Like I
Yeah.
really liked that. I liked, I don't know, the flow of it and stuff. But yeah, I obviously haven't read the second issue, so I don't know what goes on there, but the first one does do a really good job of introducing like the main characters and like how the story is going to evolve. But we'll see. I'll read number 2 tomorrow.
Or will you?
I'll try you to question me.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
And another situation here. This is Creepshow. This is volume 2 issue. I have number 1. Champ has number 2. It's just Creepshow.
Yeah.
You know?
That first one, so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I remember the second story very well.
The first one's the abortion babies.
Oh, okay. Then the first one is the one that I remember very well. Oh, okay, yeah, and then the second one, yeah. Yeah, the abortion babies was really funny to see.
It was really funny because like I hadn't read that one yet. And we get, because that's a Image is lunar now, so we get those books on like Wednesday, and Dave had like read it and he was like, it's really gross. And so when I started reading it, I thought it was going to be like way more disgusting, but it like, which it was like gross.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just like everything that happens. He was just like, it's just like all the stuff that like compounds onto the other. It's just like, it's really disgusting. And I was like, yeah, it's also a Garth Ennis story. So
I got very excited when I like the first couple pages in because I was like, he just gave birth. And I thought that's what the story was going to be about. Like, oh my God, this dude just pooped out a baby. I was like, I did, and then he like pukes, and then there's a baby, but I didn't realize that's what it was at first. I was like, wait, how is there? Did he pick the baby up out of the toilet and put it in the shower? Like, I was so confused.
Yeah, I think the second round of stories is like better than the first round of stories because like the second issue I really liked a lot. And I guess like I do both. I like Michael Walsh a lot. I like Dan Waters a lot. So it's just like two creators that I really enjoy on it, but I also really enjoyed the stories, like the shorts in that first one. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I'm glad that we get to read Creep Show.
yeah, it's like weird. Ah, thinking there's that like cool little like Boris Karloff book that came out last week too. That was a lot of fun. It was like Gold Key Mysteries, like a Boris Karloff story. It's just like a little anthology and yeah, just fun.
Okay. I didn't know about that. I'll
Yeah.
have to check it out.
Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Last one, I swear. This is the call. I have issue 2. Champ's got number 3. Champ also has number 2 chilling over
Yeah,
there.
it's like I actually spilled coffee on it, but
Just now?
no, last week or
Oh, okay.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I,
This
I
is
got
about
really excited about coffee.
it's about a group of kids who are filming their own little movie while also one of them is trying to discover what happened to their little brother who went missing. This issue, they discover like a portal to like another, I'll just say another world, like
Mhm.
another piece of their world, whatever. So they all go through it, and stuff starts happening. I will say there was no need for the sex. It was weird. They're teenagers. I don't want to see that kind of stuff.
Man, it doesn't matter. It's like any other teen shit you ever read. Or
Well, I think it was the art really that got it for me because it's like way too realistic.
I mean, just think about it like any of those like teen shows. I don't know. I understand, but I'm also just like I get it. Like they are literally just horny and also
Oh yeah, if I was in another world, I would for sure. But it felt like it came out of nowhere. I'm very critical of teen sex.
I mean, did it really come? I mean, that
I
is
don't know.
like
I don't know these characters. I
it's
don't
like
know what they were doing before the story started. Maybe it was like years in coming. Who knows?
I just have no problem with the sex scene.
I apparently do.
You became a parent and now you can't handle the sex scene.
Look, it's irresponsible because you know they don't have protection on them.
Not in that world, that's for sure. Um, the third issue, I can't wait for you to read that. It's so good. I wasn't like I really don't know what to expect from the story the way it like has been like the first issue doesn't really give you anything. You get introduced, like we've talked about this before, you get introduced to these characters, you get kind of way too much information, but also not enough information.
Okay.
And
I
then
mean,
it's just,
sometimes it works really well when it's like that.
yeah. And I just like that second issue is really interesting because, yeah, they're just like discovering this world. And this like third issue, like shit gets a little wonky, like for lack of a better word for before you read it, because it's just like, it like made me kind of uncomfy in a weird
Okay.
way. I don't know how to describe it because it's like, ooh, I like this and I don't like this because it's also like incredibly terrifying.
Right. Well, cool.
So it was just like it's it does this like otherworldliness very, very well. Um I don't know, it's interesting. Like I've not read like a bunch of Kelly Thompson stuff, but I feel like I've read some.
Hmm.
And this just feels like way different than all of the other Kelly Thompson stuff I've read.
Well, I'll pick up the third issue tomorrow and I'll read it.
Yeah. Then you'll tell me what you think.
I will. I'll do an in-depth review the next time we record.
All right. Your turn, I think.
Okay, yes. I have Marvel Gods. This is issue number 1. This is Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Shitty. I'm I'm kidding. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, so I have to take it out back and forth.
I really like how before we started, you were like, I'm not gonna do this.
Well, I wasn't going to, but I'm pretty sure I thought each part for some reason had like a title. So this is the story of a character named Win, who is a essentially just a better, in my personal opinion, a more relatable version of like Doctor Strange. He's one of those people that is, it seems like he's just too cool for school type of guy, you know. I really like this character a lot. I had to like research it, like I was telling Chan, because it feels like he's already an established character, but apparently he's not. I don't know, maybe I was reading it wrong, but basically it's, this story is told in 3 different parts. The first part is you get to know Win a little bit, and it takes place 10 years before the current storyline in here, so you get to know who he is, like what he does and stuff. And the background is like him and his wife are on the verge of like splitting up, because the organization that she is with is the exact opposite of what he is, and
Mhm.
so she has to like kill him. So it's like him dealing with the loss of like his wife through a divorce and stuff. The second part is now, and it's like 10 years later after that, like what he's been doing since then and stuff. And then the last part is dealing with the introduction of like a Babylon event that only he kind of knows how to deal with, because again, he's like super smart, he's clever, he knows like what he's doing and stuff, and he is very uh just, I guess, clever, because there's some things that happen in here that he kind of sets up, because he knows like, if I do this, then this is going to happen, but he doesn't tell anyone like what he's doing. So it's like a whole series of events where he is basically just right the entire time.
Okay. Interesting.
um it's a fucking double-sized issue. It's like 66 pages.
Okay. Do you think it's worth like the $10 price point?
I think if you're into Marvel stories, like big epic stories like this, then yes.
Okay.
And I do think, like, as far as Jonathan Hickman goes, this is like peak Hickman. Like the
Hmm.
writing is absolutely incredible. The characters are all really good. The whole event that's happening is fantastic. Like I don't know anything about any of this. I added it because I was like, oh, Jonathan Hickman, but I'm like into it. Like I'm invested in this now. So
Hmm.
I think if you are a fan of like these kinds of stories, then yes. But if you are like me and you don't know what you're getting into, then probably not. Like it is a lot. I
Okay.
did not realize that it was $10 when I was like getting it. So
Yeah, no, I don't think a lot of people did because I was talking to somebody else about it and I was like, yeah, the book's like $10. And they're like, what? And I was like,
yeah,
yeah, it's a $10 book, which is like, yeah, it's oversized. It's fair. I mean, comic books are going up in price, but it's just like I think that's like the problem with the market right now for sure. Is just like floppies at the price they are. Just
a lot.
yeah, it's not like
It should have been
feasible.
like, yeah, it should have been like $7.99. Like I
Yeah.
think that is a reasonable price for it. But yeah, $10, it is a bit steep.
Not unless I know what's going to the creators for sure. Like,
Yeah,
are they getting paid well? No,
I hope
then
so, because it looks great too. Like I love that artist a lot, and like I don't know, $10 is a lot.
I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So hide your children. Don't let your kids see this. Um,
He's downstairs.
I don't think if they're listening, I don't think I'll have anything too terrible to say, but maybe like skip ahead 5 minutes because I'm gonna talk about some smut. Then you get to explain smut. Uh so this is
He's eating a corn dog. Come
we
on.
love corn dog eating friends. So this is my book I got. It's called Sainted Love. It's a lot of fun. I don't think you can really see anything there. I feel
No.
like I'm just gonna keep it edited like this for now.
Okay. Honestly, it kind of just looks like he's whispering.
Whispering sweet nothings into his crotch. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is Sainted Love. This is issue number 1. This is a gay little ditty about time travel and relationships and lots and lots and lots of gay sex. Like lots. Um, like there is a dick on lots of pages.
Yeah. The
There's
art's fun though.
yeah, the art is really good. The story was a lot of fun too. Like I said, it was just like really dirty. Like at points I was just like, oh God. Like, you know how you felt about that sex scene? It was just like me this entire book.
Cute. your conveniently placed finger.
I think I'm doing a good job here. I
You
think
are.
this page is like the most dirty and the least dirty at the same time.
The fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was like when I was reading it on the couch, and now even now when I'm talking about it and showing it to you, I'm just like, ugh, this is really like intense.
My God. I thought it was gonna freeze on that. Because it started stalling a bit and I thought it was gonna freeze.
Me just showing you smutty comic book stuff. Yeah, it was really, really good. I think even like the smutty stuff was like, you know, it's dirty, but like not super intense,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better word. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very, very horny. It's been a long time since I've read something like that.
Yeah, I think Sins of the Black Flamingo were like
Oh,
I
yes.
think that was like the last.
Yeah, but this is like way more.
Right.
This is way more. Like Sins of the Black Flamingo is like tame in comparison to this because there's like no sex in that book.
There's just that one spread that was just beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. But like at the same time, it didn't feel like this. Was that an animal or a baby?
It was Brayden running up the stairs to pee. I thought it was him bringing the baby up.
Okay. And then next I have Transformers. This is issue number. Wait, are we supposed to do something else together?
No,
Okay, I thought we had
not
something
yet.
else. Okay. This is issue number 1. This is the new Daniel Warren Johnson book. He does the writing and the art, and then Mike Spicer does the colors, of course. It looks great. The story was like there's an interesting story with the humans going on, so there's something for me to kind of relate to. Um, I will be completely frank with everybody listening. I don't know anything about Transformers. I've seen the like Marky Mark movies, the Mark Wahlberg movies. I think Shia LaBeouf's in one of them or a couple
Yeah,
of them. Okay. Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf is like one of the mains.
Okay. I've seen like those movies, the Michael Bay movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than that, very little information on Transformers. Can't tell them apart, but I'm excited for this book. It was a lot of fun this first issue. Of course, like Daniel Warren Johnson has a nice little letter where he talks about like how much Transformers means to him and like how he had an Optimus Prime figure and like lost its hands on the bus and how he used to like sketch from the like little figure and just
That's
like
very
pure
cute.
yeah, pure Daniel Warren Johnson stuff where I'm just like, well, okay, guy.
Now I love Transformers.
Yeah. Well, it's like not even that. I've talked about this several times today, and I just feel like that that is part of the reason I love his stuff so much, is like his author's notes are always so good, and they always are just like so wholesome, and like his love for whatever he is like writing about. So it's like, with Murder Falcon and like metal music and like Do a Power Bomb and wrestling, and like how he fell in love with those things and like what they mean to him, and that like really shines through in his work itself. But it's just like reading those notes and like getting that like very real aspect of a human being who's writing a story is just like so much more meaningful. I don't know.
Mhm.
And I don't know, he just like, there's something about him where I just like, he feels like such a, I mean, I know he is like just a normal a normal dude, like we'd be friends with. It's just like, you love wrestling, you love Transformers.
Yeah, it's just nice to like actually know that.
Yeah. And not like, I'm just writing this Transformers book because I love money.
Mm-hmm. Like it's something that he's actually passionate about.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So I have a couple here. Yeah. That Champ and I both have, but I'm just gonna touch on like briefly. This is the new Witcher story. This is Wild Animals, issue number 1. I mean, as with all Witcher stories, it's just a new little venture that Armanji is doing. I just don't really know how to, explain it. He gets cast off of a ship and is rescued by a group of people, and there's wolves.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see like, I don't know. I love these little stories. I think they're a lot of fun. Every
They
time
are,
I
and
know I
I
say
like that
this.
it's the same writer for it, like every
Mhm.
time. Bartosh, like it. I like it. Yeah, four issues coming up. It's just a little Witcher story, if you've read them before, you know exactly what it is. um okay, and then this one, this is Loki. This is the last issue, number 4. I do have to say, I loved this series. I thought it was like fantastic, but I wanted more. Like I wish
Oh,
that they would just do, like, because Agent of Asgard was 17 issues, and while it was, one of my favorite stories, it might have been a little bit too long. Like 17 issues is a lot for a limited series. 4 issues is not enough. Like
well,
especially,
especially for that story.
yeah,
And
it's
like
so.
the way he was like, they really, like, Marvel did a disservice in my personal opinion, because this issue, like the series could have at least had like 2 to 3 more issues, if not 4,
Mhm.
and been absolutely like, I think perfect. I think 6 issues would have been like great,
Mm-hmm.
because
I
it
just
would have
think Dan
like,
Waters writes this world like so well. Um, in this issue, Loki is trying to find the last piece, and Bullseye is the one who has it. So there's like a whole confrontation with him where Bullseye is reading from the Book of Truths about Loki, and Loki's just like, I don't know why you think this is going to bother me. Like, I know all of this already. Um, so he gets his last piece, and then this issue, like with the end of this issue, it branches off into, I think, yeah, 3 different series. Immortal Thor, which you could have guessed that. Scarlet Witch number 8, which I did pick up. I do have it. It's downstairs. If you haven't seen the cover for that and you love Loki, then you should look at it. It's beautiful. And then Alligator Loki, which is just that one issue, I
yeah,
believe.
one shot. I didn't realize it, like, how. No, I'm gonna have to read that tomorrow. We
Yeah,
have like
I
a
don't know. It
copy.
just says, yeah, if it says here, the miniseries may be over, but the journey Loki has just begun, will continue in, and then these don't miss. So I don't know if it's necessarily anything to do with like this series, or if it's just like another Loki story and it's like, hey, check this out. But yeah, so very disappointed that they, continued it in that way, where they were just like, hey, let's just have him guest star in these other issues rather than like just continuing his own. I
Yeah.
get it, but at the same time, like,
Well,
give
I think,
me more.
well, and I think especially with the way that this ended, it would be nice to have like more,
Mm-hmm.
because it ended on such a note where you almost need more, and you need specifically more, I think, from like Dan Waters, because you want to like know how like he feels, because I feel like he has like like a really good handle on like Loki.
Mm-hmm.
I think like, I don't know, delving like having him delve more into that like stuff that he ends this like particular like series on would be very interesting.
And then I'm just going to immediately go into
Yeah.
this so I can explain that. And I do have to take it out of the bag and board. um, so in The Immortal Thor, this is issue number 2. Thor has the battle with Thornos, I believe is the name. I don't care.
Tornadoes.
What?
Tornadoes.
Yeah, whatever it is. And because of the fight and then fixing New York City and stuff after the fight has ended, he's about ready to go into the sleep that Odin had gone into several times before. And before he does, Loki shows up and is like, I just have to ask you a few questions. And like the whole conversation between him and Thor is like really good, because he's like, uh, Thor is asking for his help, like, hey, I'm about to go into this like really long sleep. I need you to do things for me, like my brother, please. And he's like, okay, but first, like, let me ask you a few questions. And it's like, will you trust me? And he has to answer the question. And then, will you trust me as a loyal subject of Asgard? Will you trust me as your sibling who loves you? And then he says, will you trust me as your enemy? And then it like, yeah. So that whole Loki branched off into this, and so whatever happened at the end of that is going to be happening in here. So that was cool, and like I do really like this series. Like this so far has been like a lot of fun. The art is really good, but him bringing in Loki like that, I thought was satisfying for me, because I finished that and then didn't realize that he was going to be in
Oh
it.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's all. That was all I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because yeah, I had finished that and then I read that second one off the wall and did not realize either that Loki was in that, and that ended. Yeah, it was just like very much loop-de-looped, and I don't know, oddly like, I don't know. I think Loki is always kind of a bummer character.
Yep.
Like that's why I don't like reading that character, because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, man, why do you gotta be this way? Why you gotta do this to me? I don't like it. I don't like getting my heart broken. That's why I think that's why it's like such an interesting like our dynamic of like, I think that's why I identify with Thor. And you, I was like, I don't like getting my heart broken by this little wretched person.
who you never know if you can like actually trust. Like there are times when I'm just like, dude, you fucking little worm. I can't stand you. But like
Yeah.
that's why I love Loki so much. There's so many different layers.
Yeah, I know Loki's good on that level. Like that's why that third issue of like that Loki, like that Dan Waters Loki is so good, is just because it like, you really are like, he does do the wrong thing but also the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's just in such a way where you like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, because there is no like right answer to it, but Loki is always
Mm-mm.
the one who will be like, all right, I'll do this because I know what needs to be done.
Yeah, it's
But
not like, yeah, anyway.
okay, well, I'll talk about my last one here. This is 7 Years in Darkness. This is the story about the magic wielders. 70 kids from well-known families are sent to this school where they train for 7 years, and not all of them survive. Only one will really come out. So this is just continuing that, where you get to know a little bit more about the characters and then what is happening. I don't know. Well, I guess it just says year 1. There's only going to be 4 issues, so that makes way more sense that I saw it said year 1.
You got some
Anyway,
more.
I really enjoy that series. Like the art is really cool for it. Like I like the whole concept of it, but that answered my own questions.
You got 7 more years to go.
Yeah, there's a lot, I guess. Okay.
Okay, I got a quick grip of books. I got the Enfield Gang Massacre. I feel like this, I did talk about at least the first issue of
Yeah,
this.
you did the first one.
It continues to be really good. There's still like a mystery of like who did a big murder, and this gang is like basically taking the heat for it.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously think it's the lawman.
It always is.
um, so like it's like, I don't know, good Western story on that good old newspaper print. They're a thing I'm a sucker for, but like I also have not actually delved into it, is there's like the kind of a actual like newsprint of like the actual story at the end of each issue,
Mm-hmm.
which is like really fun. Again, I've been really busy.
Yeah, I mean,
life
and that's a
has
lot to read.
life has been a lot, so I have to like go back and probably like read them all, but they just kind of like give you some more information. I think it's really cool though. And what I have read of it, I do enjoy, but I'm always just like done. Like glimpse at it, read the author's note, and throw it away.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I know I need to read this, but I don't have time right now. And I do enjoy that. Like that's the other thing, is knowing I enjoy that part of like the story where I'm like, oh, this is gonna add more. It's gonna be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
No time. Okay, so then I have Birds of Prey. This is issue number 2. This is by Kelly Thompson, and then Leonardo Romero, I think, is the artist. Too many. Yes. Then Jordi Belair does the colors. Um, this is just Black Canary putting together a team to go rescue her sister from the Amazons.
Okay.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. The art is just like super, super good. Like at points I don't like, the colors are a little like not my thing,
Mm-hmm.
but as a whole, it's just like it's way too fun. It's like super fun. It's super like femme forward. Like it's a book that I don't think would normally be like my thing, but something like Barda's in it, and she has like a really like fun relationship with like Batgirl, and I love it. And then just like the way like everybody talks to each other is really interesting. Um yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth reading. Like it's just really interesting, because every time when I read the first issue, I was just like, I don't this isn't a book I like. But I really like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. At least you liked it.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think that it's gonna be a lot of like, I think it's gonna have a lot of heart to it, because
Mm-hmm.
it feels like a book that just is like at some point is just gonna kind of like hit you in a
Mm-hmm.
really nice way, where you're like gonna get the feels. And like, I don't know, I like the way she likes like writes Harley, which, I have my own problems with Harley Quinn, but I like her here. um yeah, Barda.
We love Barda.
We love to say, you put Barda in a book, you basically sell me on it. So
Mm-hmm. She's great.
yeah. And then last book I have is Fish Flies by Jeff Lemire. This is the second issue. Uh yeah, it just continues that weird little like Frankenstein fly story, where weird little person makes friends with a man who turned into like a fish fly after he robbed a bank and accidentally shot a kid.
That's not funny. That's
Yeah, no, that's like, but that's what happens is like he he robs a grocery store, or not a grocery store, like a convenience store.
mm-hmm.
Like, but this town gets covered in these fish flies every summer, and this happens at the same time. And so when he commits this crime, he turns into like, yeah, this giant fish fly thing. And then they feel outcast and kind of like
Become friends.
connects with this like weird guy, fly man. And I don't know, it's a Jeff Lemire story for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really good. I read this actually like a few weeks ago because we had there was a misprint, or one page was like actually printed twice, the words.
Oh, okay.
So sorry, I was trying to see like where the misprint was and if there was a lot of stuff happening that I missed. It's cute. It's gross.
Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
My baby's crying, so my dog got scared and came upstairs. I'm almost done.
Got that baby up.
Okay. There's no way he's hungry. He ate literally right before he came upstairs. It's been an hour and a half. That's it. Okay.
Okay, so one last one.
Last one. Yep.
Okay.
This is Rare Flavors #1. We did talk about this briefly when the ash can came out. But this is a Rambi and Felipe Andrade joint here. Do you want to talk about this one?
I mean, yeah, either one of us can really. It's just about a um, like he's not a man. He is a god.
He a man.
He's a character. It's about a character who is returning to the world after being broken for a very long time. Um, and he has fallen in love with like the world of food, and he wants to explore that world through a documentary film because of Anthony Bourdain. Basically, he was very inspired by Bourdain. um Rest in peace, my man. uh I I will have love for Anthony Bourdain forever. he
I
was
love Anthony Bourdain.
he was good people.
Mm-hmm.
um so this character approaches a young man to help him put this documentary film together. The person denies him because he doesn't make documentaries, and this character goes on to describe and take him to a chai stall, and it goes like crazy in depth into like chai and how chai was like invented and how it came to be. And that was really cool. That was like
Yeah, I love
so
that
good.
incorporation into the story. Because he's talking about the guy who had the tea stall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just brilliant.
So like, and that's why I was so excited about this. And again, if you do pick this book up, I highly recommend uh Googling the deity that he is talking about in the very beginning of the art he's looking at, because that is,
Wakashura.
yeah, that is him. And the people that are chasing after him, like it's all related. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredibly like cool, and I think it's worth like looking into because it's gonna be a part of this story. um and then it also feels real evil.
Yeah. It's funny because before we got on here, in my head I had like I could think of like what it reminded me of, but now I just can't think of what it reminded me of, and it's going to drive me crazy until I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it was. But I don't know. I don't know now.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, that description of chai really got me. Um, yeah, when I read the ash can, just like putting those pieces together and realizing that like what it was actually about was really cool.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, like the art is really good. I'm excited just in general.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting book. Because as fans of food,
Yeah, no, I think that's the other thing is just like I love food so much and like I love learning about food too
mhm,
because like food is like and I we've talked about this before with like Twig when Twig was making food is like it's such a cultural thing and it's just like so important in our lives and like sharing food and things like that are just like such a like that's so important to us or at least me personally.
yeah, I love
um
food.
yeah, that it's just like it's so cool to learn about like how those things came to be and I'm excited. Comic books.
Yeah, and that's, that's all we've got. But I'm going to try to be better about it. I'm going to make my kids sleep. Probably give them some. No, I can't say that on the record. Never mind.
If you have any tips as a parent to help Heather's child Gambit sleep, let us know.
He
Uh,
sleeps fine, but when he sleeps, that's also when I have to sleep because he wakes up multiple times through the night to eat. So I'm just tired.
yeah. If you're a parent that knows us, please send me a message so I can send Heather to you and you can
Please.
talk about parent stuff together. Okay.
Can you hear him?
No, but I can see you.
He's been going off for like a whole minute, just the same noise.
All right,
I don't
bro.
know.
We'll let you go feed your child or do whatever child things you need to do.
You're
Um,
so dramatic.
if you're listening, thanks for listening to us. We appreciate you. We'll get back to some normal schedule. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah.
So it's been a long like month and a half for you and me both.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're in the area, the shop is now
Oh
open.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Legend Comics is open in Benson. We did it. We put a comic book shop together. It was a lot of business. So come visit me. I'm there. I'm putting together horror shelf every day. People keep taking stuff off of it. It's pretty sick. Um, been trying to keep my trade section all filled up with books I like.
very good. Classic champ work.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for listening to us. As always, go to your local comic book shops, buy some fucking comic books. Again, if you're in Omaha, come visit Legend Comics and coffee. Coffee's back.
Hmm.
Um, take care of your friends, take care of each other. It's a rough world out there. Heather, what you got?
Just, be kind, be patient.
Yeah.
Life is cool. You just got to make it that way.
And so yeah, thanks for listening, and we will see you on the flippity flip.
Later.